too much of the game has been scrappy. It has never really flowed. There hasn't been an awful lot of quality out there. Too much at stake, you might say. Not many chances. And when called upon, Messrs Simonsen and Smithies have produced good stops, and the goalkeepers might well decide which of these sides will be playing Championship football next season, because this playoff final will be decided via a penalty shootout. 120 minutes of blood and guts have failed to bring us a goal, have failed to produce an outcome. Final score is Huddersfield Town 0, Sheffield United 0. So now it's a case of the managers deciding which 5 players will take their spot kicks. Well, it's too much for her already. Huddersfield haven't lost yet, love. First penalty shootout in the League One playoff final since 2006. Told that Neil Collins on the final whistle strode across to his manager Danny Wilson and said, "Put me down for number 1." That's Bottle. So how much research have Sheffield United's backroom team done on the Huddersfield Town penalty takers? That's what they're trying to go through now with Steve Simonsen. Who goes which way? I wonder if the Huddersfield penalty takers are having a look at that and saying, well, today I might change which way I go. Of course, it's not just 1 to 5. You have to throw in a couple of extra ones too in case it goes to sudden death. And the way today has gone, you wouldn't bet against that, would you?
Huddle up. Come on.
Danny Wilson gets his players together. One last address. It's all down to this, boys. 10 months of hard graft comes down to 10 penalties. I'm pretty sure that Jordan Rose will be one of the 5 that Simon Grayson sends forward. So, for the 3rd time today, Michael Doyle and Peter Clark go for the toss-up.
Tails it is.
This is for end, so not surprisingly, Peter Clark, having won that, decides to go for the end, behind which their supporters are congregated.
Right, we'll go first.
And Huddersfield win the second toss to decide whether they go first or second, and they will go first. The Huddersfield fans have just registered that the kicks will be at their end of the ground. Alex Smithies brought in for the injured Ian Bennett with a chance to make a real name for himself. While Steve Simonson, who produced fine stops to keep out Peter Clark, and Alan Lee will look to do likewise for Sheffield United. Well, 2.5 hours of football couldn't decide it. Will 5 minutes of penalties do the trick? First man forward for Huddersfield is Tommy Miller. Almost scored the winner at the end of the 90 minutes, had his effort cleared off the line. Can Miller put Huddersfield in front? No, he can't. Simonson pulls off the save. First blood, Sheffield United. Tommy Miller wants to dig a hole and disappear. It was a weak penalty. Simonson guessed correctly and got across quickly. Joy for the Blades. And still no goal at Wembley for us today. And this is an interesting one. Lee Williamson, who back in 2004, playing for Mansfield, lost a penalty shootout in a playoff final to Huddersfield Town. Can he put Sheffield United in front today? Williamson for Sheffield United, misses two. Smithies got a part to that one. Might even have come off his forearm, actually. It's another desperately weak penalty. Smithies and Simonson with the early heroics. It's still 0-0 at Wembley. All we're saying is give us a goal, please. Next up, Damian Johnson, former Northern Ireland international, to miss the target completely. They're getting worse. Well, you cannot legislate for that, no matter how much work you've done on penalties in the week preceding this. Wasn't even close. Neil Collins, who wants to go first, actually, scored the winner at Huddersfield for Sheffield United in February. And finally we have a goal. Neil Collins, the centre defender, shows the rest how to take a spot kick. Sends Smithies the wrong way. Alan Lee, next up for Huddersfield. You sense he has to score to keep Huddersfield noses up. He's missed. Another weak penalty. Simonson saves. Well, Joy almost unconfined. Away to our right. It's another terrible penalty. Almost scuffed it as he struck it. No reaction, no emotion from Danny Wilson. He knows that they're not there yet. But a chance to go further clear. A chance to go further clear now. Matt Loughton, 22 years of age, to put United 2 up. He's missed. Saved by Smithies. Must be the lowest penalty shootout scoring I've ever seen. Six penalties, only one has been scored. Up comes the captain, Peter Clark. Can he put Huddersfield on the score sheet? Yes, he can. Mr. Reliable breathes new life into Huddersfield's promotion dream. Another central defender tucks it away with ease. (1-1), but Huddersfield have taken one penalty more. Andy Taylor, who came on as a late sub, brought on to score from the penalty spot. He's hit the post! This is quite remarkable. 6 penalties out of 8 have now been missed in different ways. He's hit the post and Huddersfield can believe again. I wonder what time they want us to leave Wembley tonight. We might be here till past midnight at this rate. Scott Arfield, another substitute on the day to put Huddersfield in front. He scored! Scott Arfield, advantage Huddersfield Town! A penny for your thoughts, Danny. A penny for your thoughts. What pressure on Chris Porter, the man whose goal brought Sheffield United to Wembley, has to score to keep alive their dreams of the Championship next season. Scores! How about that for nerve? Manager and chairman together on the Huddersfield bench as we go on to sudden death. And at last, Huddersfield's leading scorer of the season strides forwards. His face, by the way, is the picture of anxiety. 40 goals this season for Jordan Rhodes. That one won't add to his tally, but it might be the most vital score of the season for him and for Huddersfield. Sudden death. Stephen Quinn has to score. Was here 3 years ago as Sheffield United lost to Burnley in the Championship playoff final. Stephen Quinn has to score to keep their dreams alive, and he has done. Whose nerve will snap first? It's Gary Roberts. Straight down the middle. Almost burst the net, Gary Roberts. Huddersfield keep the pressure on Sheffield United. That's Danny Cadamarteri leading the shouts and cheers of encouragement from the touchline. '90-year-old Harry Maguire, Sheffield United's player of the season, has to score, and does. I'm tempted to ask the question, why weren't these guys taking the first 5? After 7 penalties each. Callum Woods. Scores. 5-4 Huddersfield. Look at the relief on his face. And theirs. Kissing the badge, hoping that Sheffield United can stay in it. It's the captain, Michael Doyle. He scores too. Now they're all in the groove. Nearly time to go round again. Maybe we should get the managers to take them, then the chairman. 5-5. Jack Hunt, 21 years of age, one of those that started the final 12 months ago for Huddersfield. He scored too. 6-5 Huddersfield Town. Now is this Michael O'Halloran coming forward? It is. On loan from Bolton, has to score, and does. 6-6. The last outfield player who hasn't taken a kick as yet for Huddersfield is Sean Morrison. On loan from Reading since January. Was in the Swindon team managed by Danny Wilson 2 years ago that lost the playoff final. Can he keep Huddersfield in front? Yes, he can. What a penalty, by the way. Into the side netting. Brilliant. 11 penalties in a row have now been scored. And it's now Matt Hill's turn to try and score from 12 yards. Surely somebody's nerve will break soon. Will it be Hill? Brilliant penalty again. Just dinks it into the roof of the net. Now, I make that 7-all, and I think what normally happens now is the goalkeepers have to take them, and that is what's happening. So it's over to you, fellas. You've saved a few. Can you score one? Alex Smithers for Huddersfield. Blasts it in. So much power it went through the palms of Simonson. Who'd be in Steve Simonson's boots now? He's missed. Steve Simonson clears the frame of the goal and collapses in a heap of tears. Huddersfield Town are promoted to the Championship after a quite incredible penalty shootout. Well, Wembley has witnessed some drama down the years. Has it ever witnessed a penalty shootout quite like that? Sheffield United blow it in the playoffs again. Steve Simonson doesn't deserve that fate. It's Huddersfield joy. It's Sheffield United despair. There'll be no Steel City derby in the Championship next season. And yet again, it's more playoff misery for Danny Wilson. And Steve Simonson, who produced those vital saves during open play and started out with a great save in the penalty shootout, had the last say, blasting his penalty off target. And Simon Grayson and Huddersfield Town will be in the Championship next season. For Sheffield United, Leyton Orient, Yeovil, Bury and Oldham await again. Well, the tears are coming now. Sheffield United, who were top two with a couple of games to go. The wheels came off in the regular season, and right at the end of this dramatic penalty shootout, it all went horribly wrong again. And incredibly, at the third time of asking, Huddersfield Town have climbed out of the Championship. Semi-final losers 2 years ago to Millwall. 12 months ago, beaten at Old Trafford by Peterborough United. Today, under the arch at Wembley, they've won a penalty shootout 8-7. It's going to be a long, long summer for Sheffield United and their supporters. Wires, it's us instead. Huddersfield Town back in the Championship for the first time in 11 years. And just as they did back in 2004, Huddersfield Town secure promotion via a penalty shootout after a 0-0 draw. And if you're looking for a remarkable stat, how about this one? It's the first time ever that all 11 players have taken a penalty in a penalty shootout in the playoffs. Five of the first 6 were missed. Only Neil Collins had scored. Sheffield United were in front. But then Peter Clark stepped up to level. Andy Taylor hit a post. Arfield, Porter, Rhodes, Quinn, Roberts, Maguire, Woods, Doyle, Hunt, O'Halloran, Morrison, Hill all scored. Then it was down to the goalkeepers. Smithies put Huddersfield's away. Simonson cleared the crossbar. And Simon Grayson brought in at Huddersfield in February, controversially, when Lee Clark was dismissed. Well, he's done the job he was brought to do. Sheffield United players now going across to the Huddersfield Town supporters to applaud them for their support for their team this season and for their challenge in the Championship next time. That's good to see. The Sheffield United fans, not surprisingly, have left en masse. Time for them to head home. How he must hate the playoffs, Danny Wilson. Lost out for Bristol City in 2004, Swindon in 2010, and now with Sheffield United. Huddersfield have done it almost unbelievably. After such a dreadful start with all three of their penalty kickers missing. Miller, Johnson and Lee couldn't register for Huddersfield. Clark did, and after that everybody did in the blue and white striped shirt, and one in green too. But what a day for Alex Smithers. In for the injured Ian Bennett. Had a few dodgy moments in the first half. Save from Stephen Quinn late on in open play, and then scored the winning penalty. And talk about contrasts in mood. One goalkeeper jubilant, the other absolutely disconsolate. Three hours after we kicked off, Huddersfield's players climb those steps. Simon Grayson, the victorious manager, bringing up the rear.
Come on, you Spurs, come on!
2 years ago, he did it with Leeds. That was automatic promotion. That was a very special day at Ellen Road. This just as special in the end for Huddersfield Town. Finally, they re-emerge onto the victory podium. Special commemorative T-shirts for many behind the captain, Peter Clark. Celebratory hug between captain and chairman, Clark and Dean Hoyle. Every picture tells a story. Sheffield United within touching distance in the penalty shootout of winning it. It wasn't to be after all. I think everybody's up there now. All of the squad involved through all of the season. And the evergreen Peter Clark just savours the moment. A day maybe he thought would never come. Alex Smithers scored the vital penalty and wasn't required to save Simonson's, but pulled off good stops during the shootout itself. A day he will never forget. A day Huddersfield Town will never forget. They came for the trophy. Manager Simon Grayson collects his winner's medal. And now Peter Clark can accept the trophy. That means Huddersfield Town are back in the Championship. "11 years has been too long to wait. And after failing in the playoffs in in the last 2 years. They've done it at last. They held their nerve until the death. And for Huddersfield Town next season, it's Wolves.